Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to the We Have a Service for That staff panel. My name is Alex Daskalou, and for those that weren't here for the pre-event, I am the admissions counselor here at St. Thomas University that works mostly with students from Nova Scotia, Quebec, and Europe. I'm really happy to see everyone here today, and I know some of the students that I've been working with are here too, so really happy to see you guys. But with that said, we will be exploring some of the amazing academic and personal supports we have here for students. These services are here for incoming and current students to take advantage of, especially when balancing school, personal life, and work. Now, I'm going to stop talking because knowing myself, I'm going to be talking till 2 o'clock, and you don't want to hear me. You want to hear our staff panel. But I guess I'm going to just ask everybody to turn on their cameras here, which I see most of them have. So we're actually going to start with a brief introduction of themselves and the role and service they facilitate here at STU. So Heather, if you want to take the lead first, then we'll go down through Brittany, Natalie, Carrie, Cameron, and Ale. So Heather, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Alex. I'm so happy to be here today. My name is Heather McDonald, and I am the Writing Center coordinator. I also coordinate the peer tutoring program. And here at the Writing Center, we have a wonderful team of students, and we will help you with the writing process at university from the day you get your assignment guidelines to the day that you hand in that assignment that you're really happy with and confident in. Our peer tutoring program, I have a wonderful team of students, and they will teach you the ways to be a really great student. They're great students themselves. They love helping others. They will meet with you one-on-one, and they will be kind of like I call them the studying spirit guides. So if you've ever just thought you wish somebody would sit with you and tell you what to do and help you do it the right way, that's what we do. And we're free and we're easy to use. And we're just sitting here waiting for you and waiting to meet you and help you out.
Awesome. Brittany, you're up next.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Brittany Sprague. I am a social worker and a mental health coordinator at STU. I provide a variety of services. I have walk-in counseling hours every week. I also offer several different groups and programs on campus. And part of my role is also working on the policy piece around mental health and advocating for just better mental health service on the STU campus and for our STU community.
Awesome. Natalie?
Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Natalie Carrier, and I am the acting manager of the Student Accessibility Office. We are here to help any students that have either short-term or long-term disabilities. So that can range anywhere from if you have a physical disability to a learning disability. If you get a concussion halfway through the semester or break your arm, we are also here to help. So we are more than happy to offer our services to any students.
Awesome. Thank you. Carrie?
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Carrie Monteith-Levesque, and I am the International Student Coordinator here at St. Thomas. So I do a couple things. One, of course, is to help with the transition for university students, international students, coming to university, living in Fredericton in Canada for the first time. So I'm here to support you through that transition throughout your time here at St. Thomas University. I am kind of that first point of contact. So anything that you might need that's specific to you as an international student. And of course, I love just interacting and being with students, meeting you, knowing you. I have an open door policy. So international students are always welcome to come and see me regardless of what it is that they're facing or questions they might have or concerns they might have. Always feel free to come and see me, seek me out for those things. I also look after the international exchange program. So students who may want to study abroad for a semester or two can certainly do so here at St. Thomas. We have 20 different partners in 16 different countries, and I would love to see students have that global experience. And usually students would go during their third or fourth years. So we may not be having those final discussions right away in your first few years at STU, but certainly something to consider, and always happy to chat with students who are interested in integrating that into part of their degree. I also look after the US loan program, so I am the rep for the financial student aid program. So if we have any US students that are looking to potentially borrow through the direct loan program, then I will be assisting you and working with you through that as well. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Carrie. And our last but not least, Ale.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Alan Navas, and I work as internships coordinator at the Office of Experiential Learning and Career Development. So basically what I do is I help students prepare their resumes and cover letters and get ready to be successful at an internship so that they can start putting their skills and knowledge into action out there in the quote unquote real life world out there outside of campus.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for introducing yourselves. So now we're going to move on to our Q&A part of the event here. And the first question is for Carrie. What support services are available for international students here at St. Thomas?
Wonderful, thank you. Yes, that's a great question. Certainly, all of these support services, both learning and student services, are available to all St. Thomas University students. But as you know, there are some things that are more specific to international students. So certainly, I do organize and host an international orientation just before Welcome Week every year, just to give everybody an opportunity, come together and talk about some of those things that might be more specific to international students. So things like health insurance, immigration related issues, living in Fredericton, the weather, winter, how do I manage my academic career? What does that look like for me as an international student? Who should I be reaching out to? Helping students to get to know the university, the services that are available. So again, acting as that first point of contact for you, you can come and see me regardless of the situation, the concern, the question. And if I am not the right person, then I always will make sure that you get to the person you need to make sure you have access to those services. And then we do a lot of fun things too. So actually today, after open house, I'm taking with some colleagues, we're taking 2 busloads of students 30 minutes away to Mattaquack Provincial Park for skating, skiing, sliding, and the majority of those students would be international students, a lot who haven't experienced those activities. So we do a lot of social and off-campus type events as well, so that you can be fully integrated into the STU and Fredericton, New Brunswick communities.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carrie. Yeah, it's so much fun doing things outside, especially this time of year where most students are probably going to be indoors. But our next question is for Natalie. How do students register with the Accessibility Office, and by when are they recommended to do so?
Thanks so much for that question, Alex. We recommend that students reach out to our office to book a meeting either during the summertime or during the first week of class. That way we can come up with an individualized accommodation plan that will work for you, that we can send out to your professors at the beginning of the semester. So you're able to book a meeting with our office by sending us an email. Our email is accessibility@stu.ca, and I will also put our email address below in the chat, and you can book a meeting with us that way.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Natalie. Our next question is for Heather. What are the big differences between high school and university writing, and how can we get support to improve that?
That is a question we are asked here all the time. And, it's funny because there are some differences, but in many ways it's the same. So students always have an apprehension that they need to have a really fancy way of writing or a smart way of writing, but we're here to show you that writing can be simple and powerful and effective. And as long as you're showing your professor what you know, you're going to get those good grades. And sometimes students get in their heads a little bit because they want to sound really smart, and it prevents them from getting it onto the paper. And that's where working with a writing tutor who is a student who has experienced that can really be helpful, because we know lots of different tips and tricks to get the words from your head to the paper in a clear and concise and organized way. We have lots of handouts available. We'll show you where to find those manuals for citation styles, and we do the work with you. We don't do it for you, but we'll do it with you. So if you're nervous at all, if your first write-in assignment is intimidating, which sometimes it can be, the best thing to do is to reach out for help, and we will go through letter by letter, punctuation by punctuation, and we'll show you throughout your university years how to be a really great writer. So when you're in your 4th year or 5th year, you'll just be sailing through. You'll know all of those conventions that come along with university writing. So we're here to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Heather. As somebody who's used the Writing Center before, I really recommend anybody doing that. It's not just for, they can really help you improve your writing skills a lot. Awesome. Well, our next question is for Brittany. Are there proactive supports for people who don't have mental health issues currently, but are afraid the university transition may cause some anxieties?
That's a great question. I like any question that is proactive. So yes, there are many services just to kind of keep you well, because obviously university can bring on new feelings of anxiety. So being part of the STU community, I think the more engaged you are in the community, it helps to keep you mentally well. So STU is great at having a lot of events that allow you to connect with other people. We have like great athletic events, but also like arts and culture, and then just events that are just purely for fun. So the more you take part in that, and I think also just the more you engage in support services proactively. So, reaching out to the Writing Center like early on, or accessibility early on, rather than waiting till you're in more of a crisis mode of stress, certainly helps support your mental health. And then also with my services, like reaching out to the walk-in counseling or taking part in groups and programs proactively, tends to be the better option than waiting till you're in more of a crisis state and then reaching out. But that works too. We'll meet you wherever you're at.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brittany. Our next question, or should I say multiple questions, are for Ale. So I guess I'm going to go through all questions at first, but then if I have to repeat them again, I will. But where can students do internships? And what are some organizations where they do internships? And are there any opportunities to do any or other experiential learning internationally too?
Whoa, such great questions. Okay, so I'll try tackling all of them, but if I miss any one of them, please do let me know. I'm happy to provide more information. So first off, where can students do internships? That really depends on the program they're doing. If they're doing the program that runs all throughout the school year, that could be like during the fall semester, winter semester, or during the summer. It could be anywhere across New Brunswick, like so far as you're in the province. You can work with any employer. It could be a small business or any nonprofit organization. Some of the organizations that our students have worked with include the Multicultural Association, the New Brunswick Multicultural Council, Autism Connections, so many really, like anything you can think of. We have a wide variety of internships to offer. And the coolest part about the program really is that if you see an employer on the list that doesn't really catch your attention, of like, if you think of an employer that you want to work with and we do not have it on the list, we can help you connect with them. So really, it's really flexible, and it tailors to students' preferences that way. Then the final question, I think it was, are there experiential learning opportunities internationally? And yes, I am happy to share that we do have international experiential learning opportunities. As a matter of fact, we piloted that program this school year, and Clara, my supervisor, from whom you'll be listening later on, she took a group to Costa Rica to do some volunteer activities back in the fall reading week, and it was a lot of fun. They did all sorts of fun stuff to learn about Costa Rica, the culture, the history, and some day-to-day practices, while also like engaging in the activities hands-on to gain experience. If that answers all the questions, please let me know if you need more information.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ale. Our next question is for Heather again. So how can a student get a job at the Writing Center?
Well, I'm glad you said that because it's almost hiring time. So when we hire our students on campus, and I not only hire for the Writing Center, but also for peer tutoring. So that's about 40 to 50 student jobs. And you just have to have a passion for working with people and helping people out. And that's it. You don't need really any special knowledge. You don't have to be a grammar nerd, my button says, but we are looking for people who remember what it's like to be in that situation when you're in first year and you're overwhelmed or you're confused, and to want to help students through that. So to apply for the Writing Center, you can like us on our social media. So we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And then I always put out a little social media blast that we are accepting applications, and also you can check with the you can check on the, oh my gosh, what's the name of it? It's slipping my mind. Learning in Action platform. There we go. The Learning in Action platform, because it will be advertised there too. And then you submit your application, and I usually try to hire for the following school year before this year has ended, so that you know coming into your next academic year that you've got a job. So just kind of for your first year, enjoy the process of learning how to write. Look around and kind of notice the things that you're experiencing that are challenging you. And then in your second, third, or fourth year, you can apply for any of those jobs. And I look forward to building my team each and every year.
Awesome. Thank you, Heather. Our next question is for Brittany. How often can students access counseling on campus?
Great. So on campus, I offer my walk-in counseling hours 3 days a week. So they're every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Students can also access counseling anytime through a program called Student Wellness, which is available 24/7. And you can call the number and speak to a professional counselor. So certainly that's not on campus because it's over the phone, but it is available 24/7 to our students, which is a good service as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Our next question is for Ale. Is there support to prep resumes and cover letters for interviews? Mostly for like more nervous students that are nervous about interviews.
Awesome. Yes, we do offer support for students to prepare their resumes and cover letters. We also have appointments for mock interviews. And really, like, I'm not the expert of that. Really, the person who does that the most is my colleague, Erin, who's our career development advisor. But because here at STU, we're very supportive of students, I always like to tell students that I am their #1 fan. So whenever they're applying to internships, for example, they tend to just drop in by my office or contact me to take a look at their resumes. And I am beyond happy to do that and help them because, like I always tell them, I'm their biggest supporter when it comes to applying to jobs and internships. So really, anyone on the team, Clara, Erin, or I, are happy to look over resumes and cover letters. And yeah, we do offer mock interviews. So students have they have access to some resources, templates for follow-up emails and stuff like that to help them feel prepared to get that job.
Awesome. Thank you for answering that, Ale. Our next question is for Carrie. How do students adjust to Canada, especially in the winter time?
Yes, that is a great question, and often something that, students do struggle with if you're coming from an area that traditionally is much warmer than our winters here in Canada. But we do have resources here to help you with that adjustment. Canada, Fredericton, New Brunswick is actually quite beautiful. Our winters are gorgeous. We have 4 seasons here in Canada, so you get to experience fall, winter, spring, and summer, which is really nice. Our seasons are short, but temperatures in the winter can be cold. So we do have a winter warm up where we have winter clothing. A lot of it is new, unused, or lightly used. So students have access, they can come and get what they need, whether it's winter boots, coats, mitts, hats, those kinds of things. And we do also, through international orientation, whatnot, we do address concerns around winter. We also have supports through Brittany and her office, because sometimes if you're coming from a warm country where you get a lot of sunshine and vitamin D, we do get a lot of sun actually in New Brunswick in our winters, but it's not quite the same. So sometimes that can have an impact on how you're feeling, your overall wellness and mental health. So Brittany can help support students through that as well. But generally, we try to have fun and allow students, as we're doing today, to experience winter. One of the things that I love most is that first snowfall for students who've actually never seen snow before. And if you look out on campus, all the students are out there playing in the snow, looking up at the sky, taking pictures, because it is very, very beautiful. So yeah, no, there's lots here to enjoy during the winter, and we want you to be able to experience it and enjoy it as much as possible. And part of doing that is helping you to prepare so that you can stay safe and warm during those winter months.
Thank you, Carrie. So our next question is for Natalie. Are there student job associated with accessibility if that's an area somebody's passionate about but don't need the services necessarily?
That's a great question, Alex. Every year we do hire one student assistant, so that can be found via Learning in Action, much as Heather mentioned earlier, for the Writing Center and peer tutor staff. So we do have one student worker. In addition to that, we have also in the past hired student note takers who are able to apply to be a note taker in classes that they're already enrolled in. So those are a couple ways that students are able to have some form of student employment through our office.
Awesome. Thank you, Natalie. And of course, all of our students can get in touch with Natalie and her team at the accessibility at stu.ca, and they can definitely help you get registered with their office and answer any questions you may have about accessibility related concerns. Now, for our last question, which everybody's gonna answer. So we'll probably go in the same order as we did the intros. So the question is, what is your favorite part about working at STU or with students? And we'll start with Heather.
There's so many things to pick. It's going to be hard to pick just one to say. I mean, I've been at St. Thomas since I started my first degree in 1998. I came back to do my BEd, and I've been working here for 9 years now. So I just see the kind of the circular pattern of how the people at St. Thomas have influenced my life. And at first it was professors and classmates that were influencing my life. I made my best friends here at STU. And now not only am I working with some of the staff and faculty that were here when I came to STU, but now I get to work with students too. And because I see so many students come in and out of the Writing Center so frequently, and because I have so many students that work at the Writing Center, I really feel like we are all a connected team. I love walking through the courtyard and having multiple people to say hello to. I love that if there's ever anything that any of us need, we can have those connections. So the small community it's the best thing. It sounds, I'm sure, a little cliche because everyone said it, but the STU community has kept me here. I feel my dad came here and he graduated in 1974. I feel like my life is STU, and it's such a blessing. And I'm so happy to meet all of the students and interact with them and see all their talents and watch them grow and come back. It's amazing. That's my favorite part.
Brittany?
Yes. So for me, similar to Heather, I'd say my favorite part is the community, the people. As a student at STU, I met my best friend at STU, and then working at STU, I just find that our community tends to attract like students, staff, and faculty who are very passionate, very empathic, kind-hearted, really dedicated to wanting to make the world a better place. So just being around that type of energy and those type of people, feel like it makes me a better person. So yeah, just really, I love the people that our small liberal arts university attracts.
I would like to echo what Brittany and Heather already said. I came to STU as a student in 2015, and I quite literally have not left. So I've been working for STU since I graduated in 2019. So I would say that definitely it's the students, it's the professors. I love having one-on-one meeting with students, or if we're not in a meeting, our door is always open. So we love having students drop by and chat, and that's probably one of my favorite things about working at STU.
Hello again. As you can see, there's a running theme here. STU does something really special, and you can see that because we believe so much in what we're doing and the education we're providing that we're hiring our graduates. So that says a lot as far as I'm concerned about the quality of education, the type of people, the community 100%. It's just, again, it's just getting to know each other and people knowing your name and having those more intimate relationships and feeling like you're valued, you're a part of that whole degree process and your education, and everything that you do, all that you contribute is significant. And one of the things that I really, really love about working with the international students specifically is just seeing the growth from the time they come until the time that they leave, and just coming out of their shells and just blossoming and becoming these incredible individuals and humans that are going on to do really significant things. Like, we have students doing some pretty awesome, like we have Rhodes Scholars, we have people going on to prestigious, double degree, master's degrees programs in law, and it's just really, really a special place to be. And I really believe in what we do here, and I know that the university does too, because again, we keep bringing people back. And as a STU grad myself, I went off into the world, worked for probably about 10 years, and then actually applied for a position to come back to STU as an employee in 2009, and have been here ever since. And it really felt like coming home. So yeah, there is something very special about STU.
I guess it's my turn. So my favorite part about working at STU, really, as cheesy as it may sound, is just how beautiful campus is. And I guess more in depth about that, ever since I was a student, I noticed how nice and beneficial it was for students to have so many different opportunities to put their skills into action and take that academic knowledge out there in the field. And when I was a student, I had so many different opportunities to volunteer, to make an impact in the community, and to have so many different on-campus jobs. And now, as a staff member, really, my dream came true, because now I get to tell students about these opportunities and how to prepare for them. So really, if I had to choose one of my favorite things about STU, it would really be the amazing opportunities that students can engage in as they're completing their degrees.
Awesome. Well, what a great way to end our service panel. Wonderful job, panelists. I am so lucky to work with all of you. But really, thank you for your time today and wisdom. And please enjoy your long-ish. Sorry that we kind of infringed on your weekend. But again, thank you so much. And thank you, our future students, for joining us. And now I'm just going to pass it back to Christy.